Today we visit Pompeii, the old market and trading town on the Bay of Naples. And here we are looking at an old itinerarium, or road map, that was found in the Middle Ages. Scholars usually date this map to the 4th century, but it has something extraordinary about it that defies that dating.
If you look carefully at the dome structure near the water in the center at the left, just below the red letter N, beside two small red-roofed houses, is the name Neapoli. This is Naples. Now if you trace the red line to the right, you come to Herculaneum under the letter I, and then a little further to the right the name of Pontus, which sits above a large square walled structure, and then to the right of that, two more small red-roofed houses and the name Pompeii.
The reason this is so remarkable is that these three sites on the map, Herculaneum, Apontus, and Pompeii, were lost completely in the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in the 1st century in 79. They were buried under 20 meters of ash and debris and forgotten until the 18th century. So this itinerarium, or old map, is actually much older than the 4th century. We believe it is based on maps that were commissioned by the Emperor Augustus through his general Agrippa in the process of mapping the Cursus Publicus in the 1st century.
The Cursus Publicus was used by the emperor for official communications, couriers, transportation, and by Rome's armies during military campaigns. It's the ancient Roman road system built to connect the entire empire during the peaceful and prosperous Pax Romana in the 1st and 2nd centuries.
It ran the length and breadth of the Roman Empire from England to Spain, through most of Western Europe, all around the Mediterranean Sea, across North Africa into Greece, Turkey, Egypt, to the Middle East and beyond.
Incredibly, we have copies of this entire map today. They are 22 feet long and a little over a foot high, and roll into a scroll much as they would have in the 1st century. The image here shows a man holding such a scroll under his chin. The other shows a scroll slightly opened and lying on a shelf. The traveler would carry the map on trips and consult it for exact distances between stops, and also to see what amenities are available along the way. A Pontus indicates with its large walled structure that all needed resources are available there for the authorized visitor: accommodation, food, a bath, and care for animals.
If you're interested in a classic time travel copy of this ancient itinerarium, just let us know at the end of this video.
Today we're visiting the Villa of Julia Felix in Pompeii. Julia Felix is such an interesting person, and she helps us in our understanding of the many characters who lived in this Campanian town in the 1st century. Julia Felix might have looked like this Roman woman from a painting found in Pompeii in the 18th century. Sometimes called Sappho, it actually portrays a Pompeian woman with gold-threaded hair and large gold earrings, stylus to her mouth, and holding wax tablets used for accounts, as in this fresco found in the Villa of Julia Felix, with piles of coins, a scroll, and a stylus and wax tablets.
Roman naming tradition suggests my name Julia could be descended from the line of the Julii, and my second name Felix means fortunate one. I certainly was fortunate, being a single woman who owned significant property at a time when this was very rare indeed. I also managed to influence legal authorities to allow the combining of two insula into one, which meant closing the part of the Pompeian street that ran between the two parcels of land. Each insula is the size of a city block. I ran a successful rental and dining business that catered to the well-to-do, complete with private baths, extensive fruit trees and vegetable gardens, and an ornate water system. I also had 3 tavernae that catered to the ordinary people of Pompeii, only a stone's throw away from the popular amphitheater and the large palestra, an outdoor exercise field with covered porticos for strolling near the Sarno gate of the town.
As her estate covered 2 entire insula, it had a larger footprint than most properties in Pompeii, approaching the size of the Temple of Venus in the Forum or the gladiators' barracks near the town's large and small theaters. After the earthquake in '62, Julia Felix let out parts of the villa, including expensive apartments, luxurious baths inspired by Venus, and the leisure gardens.
Here we see my home, the domus at the top in red, as well as a very large dining area and rooms for the servants. At the bottom in green is the very large bath complex and 3 tabernae in white. The rest of the property was planted with gardens and fruit trees and water features, hence the name the Praedia of Julia Felix or estate.
Our research shows that the villa sustained damages in the earthquake of 62, and Julia Felix made extensive repairs, an idea reinforced by the contemporary fourth-style wall paintings throughout the villa, the latest painting style at the time.
A notice found at the villa tells that I advertised part of my property for rent. To let, for the term of 5 years, from the 13th day of next August to the 13th day of the 6th August thereafter, the Venus bath fitted for the best people, shops and rooms over shops, and second-story apartments in the property owned by Julia Felix, daughter of Spurius.
She would have had dealings with many people in the town. For the approval of enlarging her property and closing the street that ran between the two insula, she would have visited the Basilica in the Forum. Inside this sumptuous building from 130 BC, judges sat for business and judicial affairs. Only an elite woman could own and transfer property without a male guardian.
Beside the Basilica, I made sacrifice at the Temple of Venus, the Roman goddess who gives guidance, fertility, motherhood, the idea, image of a queen, and the acquisition of knowledge and magic. Nearby, to protect people from fraud in the marketplace, there is a mensa ponderaria, a guide to official weights and measures. This was very useful to me for the fine dining on my estate and the fast food offered in the tabernae.
Julia may also have visited the temple of Isis, where the devotees of the Egyptian goddess cult were mostly women. Isis was compassionate and promised salvation in life and after death.
Next door, I attended plays and recitals at the large theater. This well-preserved stone theater seated 5,000 people, the upper classes in the Ima or lower section, the middle class in the media or middle, with the plebeians up top in the Summa. I also enjoyed staged musical concert performances in the roofed small theater that seated 1,500 more educated Pompeians. This theater resembled Andrea Palladio's Teatro Olimpico in Vicenza, Italy. The Italian Renaissance architect spent his life studying ancient Roman architecture.
History has been very kind to us in this regard, allowing people today to visit fascinating places like Pompeii through the magic of classic time travel. As women today in the West reach the zenith of power, influence, and independence, many more still struggle with basic human rights. Julia Felix is an exceptional and unique individual from our past who should be more noticed and more celebrated for the role she played in the male-dominated world of the ancient Roman Empire.